Okay, go ahead, David.
I just wanted to say that as a 12-year-old boy, I feel this is a lot of pressure on me, especially in this situation, right here in this courtroom. And I feel that you, sir, the lawyer of Frank Martin, have put a lot of stress and pressure on me. And as a 12-year-old, and sorry, I don't know how old you are, but an adult yelling at me in a courtroom isn't that appropriate, and it was a lot of stress on me and a lot of strain on my brain. So,
No.
I would appreciate if you didn't yell at me or put extreme pressure on me. Thank you. So, that's all I want to say.
Okay, proceed. Questions? Do you have a question now? Okay. Anything you'd like to say? No?
Let me remind you that not once did she yell objection when talking over me when I was questioning.
You're not supposed to record anyways. But
Yes, you
yeah.
are. When I'm questioning someone, you are supposed
In
to
a
say
court,
objection.
let's be honest, the
This
two
is
lawyers
nothing
are
like
not
a
meant to
court.
speak to each other anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to become a lawyer first.
This is
before you
literally
can
how
first
I
speak
speak
to
from
each
actual
other.
Yet still, let me remind you all that she was always talking for the witness as well, instead of letting the witness
For the
talk.
witness, wasn't the statement from the witness?
Yes, but you were still talking
You
for
were
the
talking
witness.
over the
Okay, let's do a new rule in the courtroom, Judge. The lawyers are not to talk to each other.
That's boring, miss.
Yeah, you're trying to...
Nah, you've ruined it now.
Persuade the jury, not each other.
Okay, do you have another witness you'd like to bring up?
Miss Wood, isn't the prosecutor supposed to bring up their witnesses anyway?
But you did that
You
yesterday.
did.
Not my witnesses.
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
yes, I didn't bring all this up. You haven't brought all this up yet.
I brought all mine.
Yeah, I didn't bring them up.
Okay, defendant.
Alright, can I bring grandmother Edith?
Come on, Grandma.
Let's go, Grandma.
You gotta take your time. Take your time, Grandma.
Eddie.
Oh, she's looking good.
What? I swear that the evidence I shall give
I swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth
shall be the truth
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
No. Alright.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Grandmother Enid, what was Frank like when he was younger?
He
Grandmama.
was and still is an absolute gentleman, constantly helping everyone around him. And with all his achievements, how could he fail to make me proud?
Do you believe Frank is capable of murder?
Oh, my darling Frankie would never hurt anyone. That's why he became a doctor. He has a true passion for helping people. There is no way he could have possibly done this.
And is it not true that a mother knows her son more than anyone else?
That is true.
What is your medical condition?
I have an overactive thyroid, which makes me extremely nervous, hence the shaking. I tremble and become overwhelmed easily. My apologies if that happens this afternoon.
Now, what do you think of your son molesting an Indian woman? Does this surprise you?
It's completely absurd. Like, I couldn't even imagine what they were thinking to accuse him of this. And the Indian women, like, they don't understand. They're confused and they would have misinterpreted everything that happened.
And how old are you?
Well, I stopped counting after 45, but
That's fair enough. And Frank was a hunter growing up, correct?
yes, he was like every other boy in the county. And he was.
Thank you very much.
And then Hayden, do you say you're often speaking of what family meetings?
Well, I let Julian take over that. He knows what's best for the county and the family. He's the man of the house.
So it's evident to say that you never dare speak in the presence of your husband, in front of others.
Of
Why
course
is
I
that?
speak with my husband. I married him for a reason.
In the presence of your husband, I said.
Yeah, we're a family. We all speak when we're
Yeah.
with each other.
David had a sworn statement that said that you were very seldom spoken, which means infrequent, in front of your husband.
Like I said, he knows what's best. I'm not going to take over from him.
But you just said you spoke in front of with him.
I speak with him. I don't take over from him.
You don't speak in front of other people often.
Badgering, Your Honour?
Wait. You just said that you don't talk when Julian's around because he does the talking for you. He knows what's
I
best for
said
him.
that he knows what's best, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm sitting on
He does the talking.
Yeah, I said he can take control and contribute to the conversation.
Okay.
There's no evidence of that in that original statement.
So there's no evidence to prove it's wrong.
Well, David's got a sworn statement that says he
And
never
David
saw
is
you
a
smoke.
child. He's not with me.
And David is one of the main witnesses of this case. No better against David. How would you describe Julian Hayden?
Julian Hayden is the best husband anyone could ask for. He knows what's best for the county and he keeps acting the same.
No further questions.
Oh, there we go. No, stop.
I'd like to bring up Frank to the stand.
Frankie!
Dr. Scared.
So weird. The thing's flickering, dude. That's my foot.
Shall be the truth and nothing but the truth.
You're a decorated hero of war, correct?
Yes, that is correct. I was stationed at an Army Reserve hospital in the Pacific for a number of years and was named a war hero after I left the hospital to assist in treating and evacuating casualties. 3 soldiers were wounded on the battlefield and I took the opportunity to save them, just like any good doctor would.
So you're saying that you put yourself in harm's way and risked your own life to save these men?
Yeah, that is correct.
You are also a well-respected doctor within Mercer County, with years of experience.
Yes, as I was a doctor during the war, I thought it was my duty to offer my services to the good people of Mercer County, my hometown. Since then, I've put all my hard work and dedication into being the best doctor to ensure Mercer County is a healthy, happy town. As for years of experience, I've been a doctor working in Mercer County for many years now, and my time in the war trained me to handle every type of situation.
You were called by your sister-in-law to check on Mary Little Soldier, who was, at the time, unwell. How would you describe her state?
When I arrived, God, was she incredibly sickly. She was running an extremely high fever and high temperature, as well as the other signs and symptoms of pneumonia. She was hysterical too and would not stop yelling, which I recognize now as another symptom of pneumonia, as this condition brings on bouts of confusion and changes in mental awareness, which explains the disorientation. So after that initial assessment, I diagnosed her with pneumonia.
So it appears that the pneumonia also caused the hystericalness from that day. Who would have thought? As a war hero and a respected doctor, how do you feel about the allegations made?
They are beyond absurd, and I don't know why we are having this trial to begin with. Although terrible, and it pains me that I couldn't save her, people die from pneumonia all the time, even people as young as Marie. To accuse me of killing her is ridiculous. I've fought for our country and saved lives in the process. My entire job is based around saving lives. I could never even think about purposefully taking one.
I read across in medical textbooks somewhere that there is this thing called walking pneumonia. Could you care to explain what that is?
Well, walking pneumonia is a type of pneumonia where it's not as it's severe enough, but it's not as pronounced, and it can go up and down. It fluctuates dramatically in time.
So does this walking pneumonia occur as a relapse?
Yes, it can appear very severe at one point and then appear to be gone the next, and you can't really tell when it's gone.
So would you say Marie's actual diagnosis was walking pneumonia?
Well, I cannot say that now because she's dead, but then if I had have known, if she would have stayed alive and the pneumonia came back, I would have definitely diagnosed her with walking pneumonia because it did appear that she was getting better, but that does happen in walking pneumonia where she appears to be getting better, but it's just silent and it comes back.
I understand you're very stressed right now. It's okay. Alright, people, so it turns out that pneumonia can actually fluctuate quite dramatically. And as we all know, pneumonia is also quite severe. Who else better to ask than a doctor himself? Thank you.
Why would Maria the soldier have felt hesitant and resentful in seeing you as her doctor prior to you even meeting her?
How would I know?
There's a reputation amongst the community.
Can you rephrase the question, please?
On the written statement, why wasn't it mentioned that walking pneumonia could have been a factor in her death?
Because I only just realised this now.
And I just realised this now. Aren't you a doctor?
After she died, I realised that obviously, since she
Obviously.
appeared getting better, she died from pneumonia, so obviously that was her diagnosis.
Walking pneumonia doesn't fluctuate dramatically. In fact, the symptoms are so mild that the reason it's altogether called walking or style pneumonia is that it's quiet.
Objection, someone who's not experienced in the
No,
medical
it's
field.
factual. It's scientific.
She's breaching the rule, miss.
What rule?
She's talking to me.
Wait,
You're looking at me.
wait. You two weren't talking to each other.
I was talking to Miss Wood, now I'm talking to you.
No, but you kind of.
Well, I am also, as I said, a counsellor. I'm a trained psychiatrist also, and so I can confirm that walking pneumonia is not deadly.
However, it can be, as the
No,
doctor
it
just said.
can't be.
But the doctor needs to fix his qualifications then, because there's been more research in the past 60 odd years, and the future has.
However, we are in 1948,
Well,
are
I
we
know, but I'm
not?
back. Put my shoes on. Back to the future. It's telling me that it's. I'm sorry, Judge. Walking pneumonia is not
Okay,
deadly.
continue.
Where were you the day Maria the soldier died?
I was attending to other patients. I'm a very busy man.
Okay. So then why were you seen leaving the Hayden residency through the back door and then down the track, despite nobody being home at the time?
Well, as I just said, I wasn't there, and I'm pretty sure David was the one who said that, and he said he saw that through a knothole.
However, the knothole was then diminished into further evidence that he saw you in wide open space, in which he further had a statement that described you in perfect description.
Because I'm his uncle, and he knows what I look like.
So you just contradicted yourself. He knows what you look like, so then how come he saw you there?
He didn't see me there because I was not there. I just said that.
You just said he could see perfectly that you were his uncle.
No,
And then
he
you
could
said that you
describe
couldn't see
me easily because I am his uncle, and he knows what I look like.
So then why did he describe you perfectly when you were tending to other patients?
Because he did.
You're contradicting yourself.
No, I am not. I'm saying he could have made it up.
Made it up, but you just said that
It could have been
He
another
could get you
person.
right.
It could have
You
been
saw
another
it on the
person.
book, not lying.
Okay.
So were you there
No,
at the residency, or were you going up there? Were you helping
I-
other people?
I was not at the residency at the time David saw me, but I did come to the residency after Gail called me there when she found Marie. That's when I was at the house.
Am I allowed to speak a timeline? Just say a little timeline for.
Well, just to clarify, I just need to double check on your own. Didn't the book say that he went to collect a jacket or something? Is that
No, there was nothing
I
like
think
that.
it last
But it did say a timeline of where David. Well, can I actually say the timeline?
Sure.
Okay.
Educate me.
David had said that Ben, his friend's mom, was running late and she was supposed to be there at 3 o'clock. It was during this timeline, he says that he was there at the home, at the Hayden residency, just before 3 o'clock, where he saw Frank Hayden.
Me.
Yeah. Isn't 2 hours where 5 o'clock Wes Hayden was found Marie Little Soldier dead. Isn't that 2 hours enough time for Marie Little Soldier to be murdered? And then 15 minutes later, you weren't tending to other patients. You were able to come to the scene and then diagnose her with pneumonia and not say anything else about walking pneumonia, and then leave the scene altogether.
Your Honor, she's leading the witness to
I'm
a
stating
question.
evidence, Your Honor.
So you can't badgering.
I I came to the scene straight away because she was dead and I'm a doctor. So what if somebody calls me saying one of my patients is dead, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm attending to another patient who's got a cough, I can't come.
But see, that timeline perfectly matches up to where there was a 3 o'clock timeline where David saw you at that residency. 2 hours later.
May I remind you that research clearly shows that eyewitness identification is vulnerable to distortion from many things. Trauma, prior opinions, and
Is that the definition?
influence from outside sources.
What else?
It's in my doctor's opinion.
In your
my
doctor's
doctor's
opinion, where you just
qualification.
started talking about walking pneumonia that's not even sudden. Oh, okay.
May I bring up that I brought up walking pneumonia, not her?
She discussed it. Your Honor. And so, within these 2 hours, I'm still leaving. Okay, go. Within these 2 hours, Maria Lasoja was found dead.
Yes.
2 hours before you were there.
As I said before, I was not there. I was attending to patients.
And yet you
there.
said
I had
that
appointments all day.
David Hayden could describe her perfectly. Perfectly.
And I just stated that eyewitness accounts are vulnerable to distortion.
Distortion in an open space when it was midday? No further questions.
Am I done?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Any other witnesses?
Do we have any others?
You
don't have to do me if you want, though.
Alexandra, you're going up.
I had to go on.
Alright, you're our last witness, come on.
Sylvia. I thought. Yeah, well done.
I swear that the evidence I be here shall be the truth and nothing but the truth.
Were you Frank's army commander during the war?
Yes.
What was Frank's role during the war?
He was a doctor at an Army Field Hospital in the Pacific. He treated casualties and rescued wounded soldiers.
And he was awarded a medal for his bravery, yes? What was it that he did?
He left the hospital and assisted in evacuating and treating casualties. Under enemy fire crossing enemy lines, he risked his life to rescue 3 wounded men. That doesn't show his bravery and self-resolve. I don't know what does.
Having known him during the war, do you believe he is capable of killing someone in cold blood?
No, sir, absolutely not. He's a doctor. He saves lives. He doesn't end them.
What does an army commander do?
They give and direct orders, delegate roles and responsibilities, assist other doctors, oversee everything.
And what medal did Frank receive?
Pardon?
What medal did Frank receive?
He received the Pacific Star.
Could you care to tell me what that is?
That's given to someone who's done a really great act. And it's usually not given to doctors, so it was really an awesome achievement when he got it.
Okay, thank you.
Where were you on the day of the medal?
I was in Maine.
No further questions.
Okay.
I was where?
Maine.
MIA.
Am I done?
So, questions you have, any other further statements or questions you have before you close your statement? Nothing? Okay, defendant? Any other witnesses you'd like to bring back up?
No.
Statement? Okay, prosecution, close your statement.
This is not a triumph of justice. The victims of Frank's crimes are suffering in silence every day, and Marie Little Soldier ultimately lost her life at the source of incriminating Frank. In a town ruled by bigotry, white people whom abuse their power and influence to pervert the cause of righteousness, the incestuous power of Julian Hayden muted an entire community in fear. The statue of justice is blindfolded to represent that the judge does not have. Frank Hayden had motive was seen at the scene of Marie's death just 2 hours before she was found suddenly dead, and has had prior reputations and relations to all of his accusations today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence presented by the prosecution should be confirmation enough that Frank Hayden is an innocent man, and in fact did not murder Marie Little Soldier. Firstly, the prosecution has no autopsy, fingerprints, or any other type of unbiased evidence besides the words of eyewitness accounts. My client, did not have any type of unbiased evidence that my client was at Wesley Hayden's house around the time of the murder, let alone that he murdered Miss Little Soldier. Let me remind you all that there were no signs of breaking and entering, and Frank did not have a key to the house as well. Not only this, but the witnesses presented to the court by the prosecution are the eyewitness accounts from discredited and unreliable sources. Let's take Len, for example. He was dismissed by the court. One of the prosecution's key witnesses, Len McCauley, after previously lying under oath, admitted to having consumed alcohol before he allegedly spotted Frank leaving the Hayden house. David, another key witness, says he saw Frank only to change his story on the stand from yesterday's court. Many times, might I add, not even recalling how he allegedly saw Frank until today, miraculously. Ollie Youngbear is another unreliable witness whose claims of professional misconduct had nothing to do with the case at hand. Mr. Youngbear also admitted that he only heard rumors that Frank had murdered Marie Little Soldier, further discrediting him as a witness. Gale also claims that Marie Little Soldier was getting better, in spite of the fact that she is, in reality, not a doctor with none of the qualified experience to diagnose a person. Finally, Wesley Hayden, an over-jealous brother, as confirmed by both of his parents who couldn't even remember his own age. Surely this proves to the jury that Frank, a war hero and a respected doctor, is not guilty of the murder of Marie Little Soldier. Thank you.
Hey Frank, this is off the board. Can I ask you a few questions? So being like obviously the only doctor, being the only doctor in the area other than Dr. Snow, yeah?
You're Dr. Snow.
I'm not Dr. Snow.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I'm this one here, but this is off the board, so you can't use his notes.
Okay.
So you are obviously, you're the main doctor in the area, you support that?
What do you mean?
You're in Montana, obviously it's a small area, arid area, the main medical facility?
Isn't there not a main medical facility?
Well, no, because you are the key doctor, yes?
Yeah, I mostly make house calls.
But am I right, yes, you are the key doctor?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, as the key doctor, it is your role, along with the sheriff. However, seems you were the person that has determined Marie's cause of death. Am I right?
I did not.
You did. You said it was walking pneumonia.
I didn't say that.
Excuse me, I'm talking to
I
you.
didn't say that that was the cause of death. I said that that could have been what she
So as the
had
local,
at one point.
so as a local, no, I'm sorry. Can we just check jury statements? It was, they said that they believed it was walking pneumonia. Am I correct?
She said it was obviously walking away.
Okay. So walking pneumonia. So as the doctor who has determined that, I'm interested to see your autopsy paperwork.
As you should know, there is no autopsy.
Well, why not? That's your role.
As a matter of fact, that's actually not her role.
Excuse me, I'm talking to Frank. As the key, because it's a small town in Montana, population of what, about 4,000 people, there is no, you as a key medicine person, because we don't have those facilities, why did you do your job to arrange an autopsy? You've determined her death, am I correct? You said that. You determined her death, but you were not able to show any evidence of that being her death or to link in with any one to arrange the autopsy. I'm just interested. To me that it seems there's a bit of malpractice occurring here.
What's
the question?
Why did you not, seems you did determine the cause of death, so therefore you've taken that role. How come there was not an autopsy?
I don't.
Evidence of malpractice, no further questions, thank you.
Yeah, but none of you are supposed to use it either.
You can't use that, you can't use that.
I'd like to
I
ask,
just
And let me remind you, it's actually not her job to arrange an autopsy either.
No, I know it's not, but she's gonna do
Yeah.
the cause of death. You know what I mean?
Yes, but it's also not her job either.
But it's not her job then to determine the cause of death either.
No.
It was Mr. Snow's job, actually.
Well, no, it's.
I'd like to ask
none of
Gail.
them.
That's the judge can't do that.
Oh, wait, no, Gloria. Yeah. You said Frank was happy on the day that Marie Lewis Oliver died.
Before
On the day.
I knew she was
On the
dead.
day.
Before I knew she was dead.
No, Gloria said, no, I believe it was Gloria said that when Frank got home that day, he was happy.
Yeah, explain.
Just.
Is this on the record?
No.
Okay.
was-
So
Is
now
it on
this
the
is being
record?
used.
This one's off the record because
You can say
it
whatever you
wasn't
want.
pulled out, thought of at the time.
Just say you stabbed her.
I already tried to jump in and have to I didn't start to leave you questions from the end.
Yeah. Well, my lawyer is crap. I should have fired him. No offense.
I should have
Is Gloria going to answer the question?
Am I? Alright.
Jury, can you work out the verdict at this point, please?
Do they need to
Huddle together. Huddle over there. Jack, stop filming.
Okay.